It's Andrew Joseph Keith here again, and I wanted to announce an awesome in-person sculpting workshop hosted by yours truly. Before I get into it, there's a link in the description where you can sign up for my email list, and that's where I'll give you guys more information about this upcoming event. As I've built the Proco Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course, it's become apparent to me that as awesome as online education is, and I love it, I think it's amazing. However, I do think that there are some advantages to being able to sculpt in person with an instructor, with a live model. It's just a different experience, and I think there are a lot of benefits to this type of workshop. As one of the founders of Figure Sculptors United, which hosts competitions among professional sculptors, it has become apparent to me just how valuable that experience is, being able to work and see other talented sculptors work and their process of building out the forms, being able to work from a live model. It's been a really valuable experience for me, and I think that you guys would find it really valuable as well. I've been able to work personally with many great sculptors, including Jason Millward, Joseph Bricky, Leroy Transfield, and many, many others. It really is easier to learn from people when you're watching them work rather than watching a flat screen. I truly believe the future of education will combine online courses with these types of intense, short workshop experiences so that you can get all of the information in the online courses, but then you can apply it and ask questions with an instructor. Obviously, this more immersive type of experience isn't for everyone because it is more expensive. You have to pay for the location, you have to pay for the model, you have to pay for the instructor and everything else that goes into planning this type of a workshop. However, if you can set aside the resources to be able to participate in this workshop, it will be a great learning experience. I've found that often students are able to make more progress and increase their knowledge more in a week of this type of intense workshop than they would be able to do after months and months of working by themselves on their own. If you can't afford to participate in this workshop or the timing doesn't work out, then I definitely do recommend getting the full Proco Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course. That has all of the information that I wish I knew when I first started figurative sculpting. So that is a great resource, and I recommend it to everybody that's interested in sculpting. One of the issues with online courses is that it can be difficult to find the motivation and the time to set aside to work on sculpting and improving regularly. And so that's why we just finished the first online figure sculpture competition, and that was a great experience. I think there was 115 people that submitted their sculptures. I was really impressed. It was really fun, and I think there are going to be a lot more of those types of challenges to help motivate people that can't come and travel for these types of workshops, but they can participate in these types of competitions or challenges all over the world. All right, let's go over some of the details of the workshop. This workshop will start on Tuesday, July 25th, and it'll go to Friday, July 28th, so it'll be a 4-day workshop. This workshop will be held in my hometown of Logan, Utah. It's a beautiful area in beautiful Cache Valley. It's about an hour and a half north of Salt Lake City, Utah. So for accommodations, there's hotels, motels. There's even some beautiful camping sites if you're interested in saving some money. Each day will consist of 2 3-hour sessions of sculpting from a live model. So there will be 6 hours of sculpting and instruction per day. I will be sculpting right along with you guys. I'm going to try to break it up about half and half. So half of the time I'll be sculpting. You can watch me sculpt, or you can be working on your sculpture. And then the other half of the time I'll be walking around answering questions and helping you guys fix any issues that you're having with your sculptures. I'll be building on the information that I've already laid out in the Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course, and then you guys will be able to see in person, in real time, how I apply those principles to sculpting a live model. I'll show you how to break down and sculpt complicated areas like the face, the hands, the feet. They're challenging areas, and so being able to see that and then get advice when you're working on those areas will be really helpful. For this workshop, we'll be working at about 1/4 life-size scale, which is about 16 inches or 40 centimeters tall, and we'll be sculpting in granite gray polymer clay. Polymer clay is great because at the end of the workshop, we'll be able to bake your sculpture in a normal oven, and then you'll have a finished sculpture that you can take home with you, and it's ready to be displayed. I've used this type of polymer clay for several commissioned sculptures, and it works great. All of the supplies for the workshop will be included in the cost of the workshop. This includes the clay, sculpture stand, the armature, which will be pre-made. I'll build the armatures and have them ready to go. The sculpting tools, you don't have to bring tools. You're welcome if you have tools that you like, but I'll have sculpting tools there. And the modeling fee, that's all included in the cost of the workshop. Again, we'll be sculpting from a live model, just like we've done in the Figure Sculptors United competitions, which is a great experience. Working from photos, that's what I do mostly, just because they're more convenient, they're cheaper, but there is a benefit to being able to observe a live model. It's just a great experience, and I'm really excited for that. All right, let's talk about the cost of the event. When I was getting my BFA in sculpture, and I went to a cheaper school, and even in this cheaper school, it was like $3,000 per semester. And so getting my BFA, it was like $15,000 in student fees, in textbooks, all of the other stuff that goes into it. And then after that, I felt like I learned more about figure sculpting outside of my college experience by working with professional sculptors and learning by myself, reading books, learning online. And I want to pass on all of the information, all of the things that I've learned to everybody I can, everybody that's even remotely interested in sculpting. I really want to pass on this information. Obviously, the sculpting workshop won't cost $15,000 or $12,000. I've seen several sculpting workshops that cost around $2,000. Some of them I might go to myself in the future because they look really interesting, but this workshop isn't going to cost $2,000. The price of this workshop is $775. Now, I understand that that's a big investment. A lot of people don't have the funds to invest in this type of workshop, which is why I try to provide as much information as I can for free. I remember being an art student and not having the resources to invest as much as I wanted into my art education. That's also why I built the Proco Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course, and that course is available for a much lower cost. Speaking of the Proco Sculpture course, if you've already purchased the Proco Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course, then I'm going to take $150 off of the cost of this workshop. So that means it'll only be $625 to participate. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's more of a discount than the current cost of the online course. And you're right, that's exactly right, because I actually want everybody that's coming to this workshop to have the Proco Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course. I want you guys to think of that course as like our textbook, and then this is going to be like our in-class working assignment. Now, there are only 12 spots available for this workshop. Any more than 12, it just gets too crowded, and so I'm keeping it to 12. Once it fills up, that's it. So it's kind of first come, first serve. I understand that this is a big commitment. If you have questions, I'd love to answer those questions. I can do it through a call or text or however you'd prefer. And you can reach out to me on my Instagram page at Andrew Joseph Keith to be able to answer those questions to make sure that you understand completely what's going to be going on during this workshop. I'm so excited for this first AJK sculpture workshop, and hopefully it'll just be the first of many future workshops. And so if you can attend this one, hopefully you'll be able to attend one in the future. I can't wait to work with some of you guys directly. As always, stay creative, stay productive, and I'll see you around.